Yes, the Man United agenda, we're back. And it's just the two of us, as Bill Withers would say. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. It's the centre-back pairing of Yaba Forbes and Dora. Dora, how you doing? The best Croatian representative on podcasting, I'd say. No doubt about it. How are you, Dora? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, actually. I've been having a chill week, I would say. I'm really excited about Olympics. I've been enjoying the games. Today was tennis. Dona Vekic has beaten Coco Gauff, which was a huge thing for Croatian. Really fast. Dona Vekic has beaten Coco Gauff at the Olympics. I followed up on women's gymnastic as well. It was, I think, a women's team in multiple competitions. Simone Biles, of course, Americans were, dominating
How is
there.
she getting on,
as usual.
She's
doing great.
Yeah,
she's been good. I know she had, a lot of, difficulties in the last few years, but she looks sharp. And I think she's a competitor for the gold medal in the individual, competition, I would say. But I'm glad Croatia has a bronze in air gun competition, which was exciting.
Where did Croatia get bronze in? What did Croatia get bronze?
Air gun shooting, air gun
shooting
category.
Bears.
Yeah. Sorry?
Shooting bears.
From other sports, like I love sports. As you love track and athletics. I cannot wait for that, by the way. Yeah. I've been enjoying everything. It's been a good week for me. How about you?
Well, I haven't been watching. I know the Olympics have started. I was shocked by the opening ceremony. I won't talk about that. It's just crazy. What's going on? What's that got to do with the Olympics?
We will discuss it.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. But I was shocked by
behind the scenes.
It's a bit like 2012. Yeah. Backstage, we can discuss all that. But I usually get into it because I'm working. I'm disappointed because sometimes the Olympics is in a foreign country and there's time difference. But for me, it's only an hour ahead, so I should be able to take it all in. But I haven't.
It's in my time zone, thankfully. It's in my time zone. Yes.
But like you said, Dora, I'm waiting for the athletics. I am doing a podcast for athletics in the next coming days before it kicks off. It's going to be exciting. There's been so many great athletes over the last few years. World records getting broken left, right, and centre. Especially in the 800 meters. That looks like a men's 800 meters looks crazy at the moment. The times they're running, it's going to be really exciting. And obviously the 100 meters will be over the weekend as well, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there with Noah Lyles, the big star, and obviously the young Jamaican prospect coming through, who's run the fastest time of the year so far, 9.77. But like you say, it's down to the pressure and the occasion, so whoever has got the mental fortitude to go with that. So that's the Olympics. It's great. It's every 4 years, so we have to talk about it, obviously. And good luck to Croatia. Let's see if they can get them on the medal board. We've got Solo in the house. He's saying big up everyone. Hello, Solo. How you doing? Big up to Eddie, Football Waffle. Go and subscribe to Eddie's channel. Can't wait to see Zirkzee unleashed on the Premier League. Big up the chat. Thank you so much. Andrew Williams saying, gotta love Man United. Said it's so good. He has to say it twice. Zirkzee is not too shabby either, says Andrew. Hope you're doing well, Andrew. Bart's in the house. He said, hello. Do you think with Rasmus injured, Ruud may play up front for United for the rest of the tour? He looks in good shape, doesn't he, Dora, Ruud van Nistelrooy?
Yeah, he looks amazing. And that's me objectifying a grown man. And I don't care. He looks great. He can start in any of my teams.
That's how I feel watching Olympic beach volleyball. Yeah, he looks amazing. She looks amazing.
Yeah.
No idea how Zirkzee would do, says Rajat. We're going to find out. We talk about today. Amondi Juma and Queen Dorito. You've been called all kinds of things, but that's right. Big up Matthew Bassett. How you doing, Matthew? And Rajat as well. Don't really want to keep Johnny. You're saying here. Talk about the Olympics. Watching tennis as you speak. So love the Olympics. You mentioned two tennis players earlier. So are they female or female? Because I've never heard of them. Who did you mention earlier?
Female. Dona Vekic is currently the best Croatian female tennis player. Okay. I think she's 21st in the world rankings. And Coco Gauff, I think she won US Open recently. She's very exciting. Yeah, she's very exciting young, prospect from United States. And yeah, she's only 20, but today I think our girl Donna, who is actually, she is from Osijek, which is very close to me. So of course, I like it even more because she's a local girl here. But yeah, great competition. And today, Nadal and Carlos Alcaraz today as a pairing in
Oh
pairs
wow,
against the.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a Monday. It's been
That's
such
a
a blast
spectacle.
to
That'd be a
watch.
spectacle. I need to
Yeah,
get to watch the games. And what I did see is
yeah,
really quite funny. We got a guy over here called Tom Daly. He's a diver, and
yeah.
the diving started already, hasn't it? But he put this is really funny. He put up a post on his Instagram or Twitter. And it's doing a round right now, where it's him and the boys. It's a team of 6 of them, and he says 6 boys and 5 rings. The Olympic rings, he means, and yeah, if you know Tom Daly, it's a bit Tom, stop that, behave yourself. Andrew Williams saying here, Great Britain and Northern Ireland should have got a bronze and silver. Scandalous, he's saying here, score for Dowie on the beam. Oh, expert on gymnastics. Want to say hi to Aces with Everton buying a centre back today. I heard that. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Remind me, Dora, let's discuss this one first. Will it be replacement? Murray and Evans match point and doubles. Thanks for the update. Rajat saying here, Wan-Bissaka will probably leave. We're going to discuss that as well. Big up to Simon Warner. Hope you're doing well, bro. Said dynamic duo. Yes, we are. Fencing as well. It's been fun to watch. It's boring. Not fun to watch, so he says boring. And any news on Euro? We discussed that today. Guys, we need your help as well. We're going to need your help with all the topics we're discussing. And obviously, did you know that the 5 rings Olympic logo represent the 5 major continents on Earth? Richard Hawkins, How you doing as well? We're just discussing a bit of Olympics, and obviously it's going to kick off with the track and field coming up very soon. So what was the topic I wanted to discuss? Yeah, Everton. Everton has just signed a new centre-back, Dora. Is that any indication that we could still be going in for Jared Braithwaite or Bramthwaite or legit? I call him legit, but not legit. What's his name? Delict. So
Delict.
We're seeing a bit of progress here. Everton brought someone in as to probably replace him. Does that mean that we could step it up now and get in for this English centre back who could cost English tax? Over to you.
I think that puts a pressure on Everton because, the news or last week or something like that was that Jared Brentwaite is asking for 160K a week from Everton, which is something that we offered in our, as a part of the deal, which I think indicates that he, saw a chance that, United are very, very interested and he wants to go. Like, all due respect to Everton, I think they are in a very difficult situation with their owners, with their financial situation, and they are probably going to. They already sold Amadou Onana to Villa. They are selling.
How much was they sell Onana for?
I think around 50 or 60 mil, but don't quote me on that. But it was, it is maybe 45, 50 mil. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But it wasn't anything, insane, but it wasn't anything, little, I would say, or cheap. I think this is a chance for United to go, okay, we are going to offer you 50 mil or 55 with add-ons, maybe up to 60 with add-ons. And, this is our last offer. And if Jared Brentwaite doesn't feel like he wants to stay, I think that is a good leverage in negotiations. The whole, we will discuss it further, but, we are still, in my opinion, very thin in that centre back or in that defense, because it seems that, we lost Euro in the Arsenal game, which we'll discuss further. And, injury-prone Martinez, problems with Lindelof, who is a squad player, but can he get in the team when everyone else is injured? John Evans is almost 37 years old. That's a huge issue as well. And Harry Maguire, are we going to rely on those guys once again, despite us, signing, a youngster in Euro who, I'm going to be honest with you, I think Ten Hag felt that he would actually start for this team with Martinez in that first 11. I wish that, I'm of the opinion that we need to sign more and sell. There are rumors today.
Dora, Dora, you're saying we need to sign more and sell. Is this because Euro's out? Apparently, he's injured now. Is that why we need to panic and sign more defenders? Or do you think the original plan was to buy maybe 2 or 3 centre backs?
I think it was a original plan because I don't think that rumors with De Ligt and Brentford and all at the same time, for multiple centre backs, that wasn't a coincidence. I think Ineos and Ten Hag I think they realize that they cannot rely on injury prone and players, and they cannot afford the season like we had the last one. Constantly changing that back for pairings and combinations, and I think it's very disruptive for the team. So I hope that signing of that signing that Everton made, hopefully that is a push for us to bid once again and
Can I
use
ask
it.
you?
Yeah,
Can I ask you, Dora? So do you think it's over to Branthwaite now to start pushing Everton to make the move happen? Do you think he's doing that? And what can he do to really sort of push for that? Because you said something earlier about Everton wants to sign a new deal. Everton offered him a new deal or something like that. But do you think he really wants to come to Man United now? Does he see this as an opportunity to leave the club?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. Like, look, it's not like I know that some people are going to say, "Oh, he's jumping the ship when it's tough," but if this is a chance to sign for a, with all due respect to Everton, once again, to a bigger club, playing the Europe, even though it's a Europa League, play, competing for that top 4 or, cup trophies or whatever, I think it's a good chance. He sees a good chance, and he wants to leave the club that is struggling currently. And I don't think that's selfish. I don't think that's him that's making him being disloyal. I know he's young, he's 20, whatever, but I think as a young player, you need to decide what is best for you. And I believe, and I'm not his friend, I'm not his agent or whatever, I believe that with the news that we saw in the last 2 weeks or even a month, I think that he believes that this is his chance to sign for a bigger club, and I don't fault him for that.
Do you see any parallels with John Stones? He was at Everton, wasn't he? He signed for Man City for about 50 million a few years ago. He's gone on to be like a top player in Europe, one of the best centre backs in Europe, playing for Champions League winners and treble winners, Man City. What do you see the comparison between Branthwaite at 20 years old and John Stones? Do you think they're similar players? Who do you think's better out of the two? This is not the versus battle, but who do you think's better, and how much should realistically, if John Stones went for 50 million a few years ago at a young age for a big move, how much should we be paying for Branthwaite, and is he better than John Stones was at that age? We're going to go to the comments afterwards.
Look, are you going to do comments first, or
no? I want you to answer that, and then we go to the comments. So, is he better?
Okay, cool.
And then, do you see any sort of parallels?
I mean,
is he better than John Stones was at that age?
Look, I think that media discourse and social media discourse is much different than it was 5 years ago or whatever it was, whenever it was when John Stones came to Manchester City. I think that Stones benefited a lot from Pep Guardiola's system. In my humble opinion, I don't think that he had a great Euros, John Stones. I think him and Walker were quite poor as that City pairing, but he is a good player. He's a very good player. He's a strong centre back who is good on the ball. He's very physical. He's tall, and it has some similarities to Brentford, right? The hype and the potential of being a young English centre back, going up in form and showing his potential. As a great English centre back. There is some similarities. The market is different. I think Everton is going to try to get much bigger money from United than they got for
What's
Stones.
realistic then, based on the potential of this young man compared to Stones? What's 50 million for Stones? That was a lot of money at the time. What do you think where we can meet a deal? For you, what's the realistic price for you based on his value, and what do you think we end up paying in those two?
I think for Brentford is because this is his first season at Everton, or the last season was his full first season for Everton. He showed some promise. He was
So how
great.
much you value? How
Some
much you
games he
pay
was
for him now?
poor.
How much you gonna? How
Around
much are you gonna pay?
45 mil.
And how much do you think would they?
45 mil.
How much do you think
They
they're
are
going to
going to
try?
look 60, 65.
Okay, let's go to the comments because they're saying here Euro's out to until Christmas. That's from Aces. How you doing,
Oh
Aces?
God.
I hope that's not true. I've heard it was 3 weeks or something, but I hope that's not true. Rasmus could be back in October. Are you pulling our leg? I'm not sure. Guys, can we, Aces, please let me know if you're joking or not, because I don't want to hear this. It's bad news. We're not getting Brentford, says Matthew Bassett. Too expensive. He's got 3 years left in his contract. Everton ain't
Oh
willing to
yeah.
budge on the price. Maybe because they've made money, like you said, Dora, with the sale of Onana already. Braithwaite shouldn't be paid more than Martinez. He is a senior centre-back and a World Cup winner. That's from Liverpool fan. Bart, he's also saying here Everton could go down as Dyche isn't a miracle worker. Euro is injured. He's got ankle ligament problems. That's not good. That's not good at all. Simon Warner is saying here, has the deals for Ugarte and De Ligt gone cold? We don't know. I haven't heard anything today. Richard Dawkins saying here, I think we need someone in alongside Martinez with experience. We also need to be patient with Euro because he's young. Well, he's got a lot of time on the injury medical bench at the moment. So we've got, a lot of time in our hands. Braithwaite needs to handle the transfer request. That's what we asked the question, Dora. What does he need to do? Well, maybe he needs to do that. He might upset Everton fans, but if he wants to go,
Yeah.
hurry up. Look at Braithwaite getting annoyed. Looks like he's getting annoyed, says Rajat. Braithwaite, Shalaba, Zuba Mendes, Fofana, Tony are my wishes. So this is Andrew's dream team. If you could have a wish, these players to get in. Big up, Emma. How you doing, Emma? It's also about getting the new ones in now. So when the old players leave, we aren't panicking to sign enough players to make up the squad. So that's about balance with age. Big up to Chat Sport. Everton hold all the cards on us at the moment. They're saying United will be desperate now with Euro injured. Harry and Lindelof can't be moved on even now with the injuries. So there you go. We're in a tough situation, aren't we? And Braithwaite is 22, apparently. He says we deserve better. How you doing? We deserve better, by the way. Welcome. Remember, Everton did exactly the same thing with Rooney in 2005. Tried to sort of haggle a deal. Matthew Bassett saying, do you think Everton would rather sell Braithwaite to any other team than United? I don't think so. They could like to get most money from us. Referring to like the contrast between Stones and Braithwaite. Stones was man of the match in Champions League final and FA Cup final.
He is quality. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He is a quality player.
Okay,
He's very good. He's insane.
And Euro, says Simon Warner, could be the next Shaw regarding injuries. He's played 1 or 2 games, and with the new season looming, he's cropped already. I thought the feel-good factor was back signing players. I hear you, Simon. I hear you. Hopefully, it's not going to be that way. Armandi saying, Armandi, what time is Mr. P? Mr. P. Who's Mr. P? Mr. T. No, Mr. B. He's on at 10 o'clock tonight on Sci TV. Go and support him, guys. If you've got time, go and support Sci TV. Go and support Mr. B. He's on the show tonight, and back him and let him know that you're from the Man United agenda. A couple more here before we move on to the next topic. Simon's saying here, Braithwaite could be another De Jong and stay at the club. Tommy take Fulham move, not Man United level, says Rajat.
Yeah, that's a rumor
Chat
today as well. Yeah.
Okay, we touch on that a bit later. If United can get Braithwaite, then at Sporting, there's a player called Diomande, centre back, who's very good as well. If we don't get Braithwaite, I think we will need to get someone English as well. An Agile Beast is in the house. I'm in favour of going for lesser known centre back as an alternative to either of our targets there. Yeah. All right, that's that one done. We got it over and done with. 20 minutes into the show, and we haven't even talked about the main topic. Guys, if you see the thumbnail, you might be laughing, you might be mocking and everything, but we're going to go into it now. The main topic of this show, it's about this. There's been a few quotes going around, and maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, but we're just going to go into a bit more depth, a bit more detail about one of our signings. It's Zirkzze. Zirkzze, 23, had thrived under the 41-year-old Motta at Bologna, the goal ex-manager who's gone to Juve now, during their 2-season stint together, scoring 14 goals in the 2023-24 campaign and earning himself in the Netherlands squad for Euro 2024. And you guys might have seen a couple of cameo appearances by him. One against England as well, by the way. And Motta himself had previously heaped praise on the star. Listen to this, mentioning him in the same breath as one of the all-time greats. He said his idols are Zlatan and Gabriel Batistuta, who were excellent players, Motta told Sky Sports Italia in February. But he said this, but seeing him day to day in training, he reminds me of Ronaldinho. I played with Ronaldinho at Barcelona when Ronaldinho was at his best form, but I cannot compare him to anyone. He is just Joshua, and he is special. Guys. So Thiago Motta, who's got a lot of respect, he's obviously played for big clubs, played for Barcelona, Champions League winner, top midfielder in his day. He's 41 now. He's become a top manager. He's got a new system, got Bologna into the Champions League, and he's worked with Zirkzee for a number of years, a couple of years now. And he's saying he compares to Zlatan and Gabriel Batistuta. Now, if you're old enough and wise enough, you understand these two are some of the best world strikers we've seen in recent years. But then that's two great strikers. But as he also said, working with him day to day, he reminds him of Ronaldinho. That is high player praise indeed, chat sport. He's special. This is high praise indeed. I like this. Shall we touch on this for a minute before we move to the next slide? Just before we do, Zirkzee, my prediction, and remember this at the end of the season, we were going to wonder why we signed him. So he's not convinced us, Andrew. We've also talking about this. Ronaldinho, that's high praise. We shall see. We've got Andrew Williams saying here, what's his best position? He's not a winger. He's not a number 9. So where is he going to play in the team? And these are questions you can answer, Dora. I think Zirkzee will knock spots off Rashford. Rashford's days could be numbered when Zirkzee shows us what he's made of. So first of all, what's his position? What do you think of his praise? Because he's comparing him to Zlatan and Gabriel Batistuta, who are centre forwards, but also comparing him to Ronaldinho. I've got more slides. So what do you think about that? Andrew's not convinced. What are you saying, Dora?
I mean, look, every single coach, every single manager who is having successful seasons, good story, like Thiago Motta showcase that he is a really good manager and he is going to only get better in the future. He's a great young manager and he inherited a really good team. Not inherited, but he created a really good team at Bologna. I mean, they were great last season at Serie A, qualifying to Europe, and that's insane for their club. But I mean, these are high praises. I mean, look, I get that, his idols are Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Gabriel Batistuta, great idols in my opinion. Those were two great, amazing, legendary strikers. And hopefully, the game of those idols, translate to his game as well. The Ronaldinho thing, I mean, Zirkzee likes to dribble, but, comparing him to one of the best dribblers that we ever saw in the history of football game, I mean, it's a really high praise. I think it's just, I think he really likes him. I think he's trying to, pick him up. We will see. I will be a bit pragmatic. I will be a bit reserved. I think he has the potential to be really good for us. I think to answer Andrew's question as well, and Simon Warner, who is saying that he has the potential to knock off Marcus Rashford from that left wing. I believe that Ten Hag is going to use him as a false 9, the same position that he played at Bologna. He's going to try to unlock the wingers and the outfield players like Marcus Rashford, and the right winger who is going to start for us. It's probably going to be Alejandro Garnacho, in my opinion. So he is going to have a bit of a different, role than your classic number 9. He's going to try to facilitate. He's going to go, as a deep line forward. He will be that false 9 for us. I don't know, is it going to work? We cannot say because we didn't see him under Ten Hag at Manchester United. We will have to wait and see, at least for the preseason games that are coming up. But I mean, I wouldn't look that much into these comments, to be quite honest with you, Monday. To me, it's just talk, right? He's praising his player, and I think that's really nice of him. But we need to wait and see. I honestly, personally, I watched a few games of him with Bologna last season. He was good, but I wasn't, how do you say it? I wasn't, insanely impressed and saying, oh my God, he's a new Ronaldinho or he's a new Zlatan Ibrahimovic or whatever. I think he has the potential, and we will see. We need to wait and see.
Okay. Comments quickly. Richard Hawkins saying Ruud van Nistelrooy would be a huge difference, not only for our strike force, but the whole team. Bart saying I think Ruud's appointment and Zirkzee signing could help get the best out of Rashford as well. Matthew Bassett saying here, do you think Zirkzee could play as a false nine or similar to Firmino? You just answered that, basically. Andrew Williams saying here, if he is special, he can overcome being played in wrong positions, but we still need to be he would still need to be very special. I just don't see Ten Hag playing two up front that much. I don't either. But saying here, make Josh play like Karim Benzema, says Rajat. Zirkzee, maybe great with his back to goal, but from what I've seen, I'm a bit dubious. So question marks with Andrew. Let's see. I could be wrong. The false nine usually better with possession-based teams. Bart saying here, should United set up a scouting network in Holland? Very funny. Most of our goals come from Zirkzee, Haaland, Bruno, or Garnacho, says Simon Warner. Andrew saying Wilcox wants us to be a possession-based team in response to that. We've got Andrew Williams saying here again, he reminds me of Mount, right player coming into the wrong team. And we will never be a possession-based team with Bruno dominating our team, says Andrew. Zirkzee's technical profile and selfishness make him a unicorn based on the athletic. Yeah, I will touch on that. Track Sports saying, I'd love to see two strikers up front in diamond formation. I don't think that's going to happen. But like once again, I'll just repeat here what's being said by the man of the moment, Thiago Motta. He compares him to Zlatan, that we know very well, Man United, and Batistuta. Batigol! What a play he was. And then also the Ronaldinho thing. Now, I'm going to go into a bit more detail and explain why. Okay? Here we go. So, talk about Zlatan. With Zirkzee standing at 6'4", he's built like Zlatan and has a physically imposing forward who can't easily be bundled off the ball. So obviously coming deep to pick up the ball. We remember the striker who was at Ajax, the Ivory Coast striker who was at Ajax with under Ten Hag, who played at West Ham, Haller. He was another big guy, come deep.
Haller,
He scored a bag of goals and he was big as well, 6'4". So the comparison to Zlatan is to do with him being big and strong and physically imposing forward who can't be bundled off the ball. And then he goes on to say here, this is my wording, Zirkzee is also extremely mobile and capable of dribbling with ease despite his height and physical presence as well. So someone like Zlatan, as he got older, he's a big guy. You don't expect him to be dribbling and running channels, that kind of thing. But we've seen Zirkzee, he can dribble with ease. And this is where we come in, think about Ronaldinho, complete player, Batistuta, Zlatan, got the height, got the presence, got the physicality, but can also dribble with ease with the height and physique that he's got. There's also brilliant link-up play and hold-up play, coupled with his ability to drop deep and receive the ball. So this is almost a complete player. He can do what Zlatan does, hold at the ball, be strong, not get moved up too much. He's got great dribbling ability when he does get to turn and run at defenses. That's scary for anyone. And then also, he's got brilliant link-up play. 1-2 touch football, hold-up play, obviously, with the strength, coupled with his ability to drop deep, drag people out of position, and to receive the ball as well. Add to his high IQ and spatial awareness, and you get a fully fledged juggernaut in the forward position. This is what I'm trying to show you, Dora, about the comparisons with Batistuta, Zlatan, and Ronaldinho. Just to end up here, exceptional dribbling ability. 1, he got tricks in his locker. 2, he's Dutch. He loves Cruyff. He can do a Cruyff turn or 2. And you've seen him do nutmegs and step overs, just like his idol, Ronaldinho. Now, we might be bragging and boasting, but I'm trying to show, from what we've seen of him, why he might be the complete kind of forward we see today. He's unique because when he was dominating the youth levels because of his size, he was able to do all this. And he's got that. I can't wait to see him play because I feel when he's fit and raring to go, we might see all these attributes come in. So I'm going to leave this up here, Dora, and I'm going to come over to you. Have you changed your mind, or are you getting more convinced by this script here?
I mean, it looks nice on Monday, but I need to watch him actually to give you I've watched him and I watched the clips, I watched YouTube videos, I watched compilations as well. he looks amazing when look from those clips, but he scored only 12 goals in Serie A. That's my issue as well. Like, we need to, as a team, Manchester United scored what? We didn't score. We scored 50 something goals last season, and I think that's a huge issue because he's not a prolific player in front of the goal. If you look at his career, right? Uh, I feel like he's great facilitator, as you obviously mentioned. He creates for others, but I need him he's a striker at this team. I don't care if he's a false nine, left, whatever. He's our striker. We sign him as a striker. If he doesn't score, and other guys cannot score because we are already in the same predicament than last season. So I get your optimism. I absolutely loved it. I think he has the potential. He's 24. He's still young. I think he has still time to, be even better. But I'm a bit cautious. I need to see him in action against Premier League teams, because this is all great when you are playing against teams that are in the high line. But what about when we go to Goodison Park and play against Sean Dyche team? Or we go
if you look at the first paragraph, Dora, that's where it said he's 6'4", built like Zlatan.
But he's not very good in the air.
But no, don't have to be
He's
good in the air.
He's not very good in the air.
Yeah, but he can hold off big defenders. You talk about going to Everton, where it's going to be a physical war. He's imposing. You don't see him get bullied or bundled off the ball that much. So that's one tick. He's ticking that box, in my opinion.
But how can he bully off when there are three players around him? Like, he needs to be a miracle worker. This is an issue. This was an issue, the same issue with Højlund that we had last season, right? He is huge, right? He has a physique. He's physical, but he cannot head a ball. Like, I like the comparisons to Zlatan. I think young Zlatan is more. He was very mobile for his height. He was very technical. He was, he is similar in that sense to Joshua Zirkzee, right? But he was also great in the air. And this is my opinion, right? I'm not a scout. I'm not an analyst, right? We are United fans. We are discussing what we know of these players and what we need for Manchester United to be good in front again. I need to see him more of him, and I need to see him battling against someone like John Stones. We will see it probably in the Community Shield in the next 10 days, right? We are going to see him.
That's fair enough. You mentioned the Everton thing, Dora. We're going to go head to head and bump heads on this one. And I'm going to go to the comments as well. So you talked about Everton and physicality. I'm saying he can handle it. But you didn't touch on the physicality. You just went for the heading side of things. You said he doesn't score headed goals, which is true. I don't think he scored a heading goal, but that's maybe not his game. Let's talk about being extremely mobile. We've seen players like, who's the guy from Wolves who came from Atletico Madrid, Brazilian sort of guy, Cunha.
Matthias Cunha.
He's got that Cunha kind of running style where he can sort of ghost through people, pick up the ball and drive past people quite easily. I think he's very talented in that respect. And we're talking about his IQ. You talked about is he going to score many goals. Firmino's compared to Firmino didn't score that many goals, but the quality that he provided, the link-up play, and all the things I put in this paragraph here helped the team score more goals. So there's a lot of talk here about Rashford. I don't think it's about replacing Rashford. I think it's about making Rashford a better player with a guy that is coming in. So I won't worry too much about the goals, Dora. So there's 2 points there about his IQ, which can help him, and how he can help other players with his link-up play, which is really exceptional as a team to score more goals rather than him directly.
Yeah, and that's a great point with mentioning someone like Roberto Firmino, who was he is. People, look at him and, love, but he was really important for that Liverpool team. But he had Mo Salah and Sadio Mane next to him. And all due respect to Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho or Amad Diallo, they're not those people. Like, I get where you're coming from, but, I need to bump hands. Like, I need to be a bit, against your point. We are discussing this, right?
Yeah.
I think that, it's all great on the paper, but we signed Højlund last season, and of course he's still a project, and we were very, excited and all that. But when he started playing against the Premier League teams, not Champions League, because Champions League is different. We were playing,
Sure.
massively different, teams there. But in the Premier League, this is where I need to see him go
Right.
against physical center backs and everyone else. If he does that, what you said right now, and he, for example, gets 7 or 8 assists in his first season, or even 10 assists, which I think it's a lot for a striker that has came in the Premier League. This is his first season in the Premier League. That's insane, right? I think that, and he scores, for example, something like maybe 10 goals, maybe 12, 13 goals, like he did for Bologna last season, right? I think that would be a good season for Zirkzee, especially in his first season. But
Dora, I'm
like,
sorry, but you're like diverting my point here. My point is, yeah, you're judging him on what you expect him to see, the expectation of goals. But what about what he can offer teammates? We saw Rashford had a barren season last year, but Rashford, the season before that, he scored 30 goals. Is Zirkzee going to contribute to the team scoring more goals? Which we
well,
talk
he
about.
needs to.
Okay, so
He needs to.
so
Yeah.
even if he scores like maybe 10 goals or gets 6 assists, like we've seen with his data that we've seen at Anderlecht, at Genoa as well, the
Mhm.
team's doing well. Genoa finished in the top 4 in Italy, so the team was doing well. It's not necessarily about we're assessing him. Oh, he only scored that many amount of goals. Can he transfer that to the Premiership? But the team done well. So I think he's a team player, and we shouldn't really focus on individual stats. I don't think that tells the full picture of what we're seeing here with a well-rounded player, as we've seen, compared to Batistuta, Zlatan, and more importantly, Ronaldinho. Coming on to the running, I'm going to go to a few comments, and we'll go back to this in a sec. Rich Dawkins saying here, what these players do is give you options. Okay, so there you go. We've got more options now. Zirkzee's not as prolific as Horler, says Bart. Maybe if he was playing for Ajax in the Ajax League, Dutch League, maybe he would be. Andrew Williams saying here, I'm surprised that he's only played 4 minutes for the countries with his next level of skills. Here we go. Data, 53 games, 13 goals and 6 assists. That's with Bologna. That might not be good enough individually, what we might think, but we're not seeing. Bologna didn't finish mid-table. They finished in Champions League places. There's a reason. Something he's contributing something to the team. Any Football Waffle saying, I hope he's like Zlatan. I want to see that skill, aura, and karate. 38 games, 16 goals, 9 assists at Anderlecht. Obviously, that's the Belgium league, but you see the same kind of ratio. He's not a prolific goal scorer. He's more of a team player. 20 likes. Thanks again, Eddie. Appreciate you, bro. Dora's spot on, says Andrew Williams. He's good. Is he going to take us from 57 to 77 goals? That's the question, and that's why I'm bringing this up. We will see. We will see. We got here.
There is a potential, definitely. Yeah.
Bit like you, Andrew's skeptical about the whole deal with this guy. Yeah, it's exciting to see what will happen. We just have to speculate, really. Rich Dawkins saying, yeah, but can he hold up the ball? And I think he can. I think that's his good part of his game. We will see. We remind us that Retro in the 77 saying Zlatan is a lion, no doubt about it. Andrew Williams saying he never really played as number 9, so we haven't seen it yet. Dora is right. Keep an open mind for sure. We have to, but we're here to speculate on shows like this. I now have a good feeling about Zirkzee's growth potential. Great raw material, must be nurtured like Euro as well. Hopefully not on the injury bench. That's what we don't want to see in there. Football is played on the pitch. It's a war, no doubt about it. Yes, Dora, 10 assists is a benchmark for any creative player. We're saying that. Andrew's again saying, Amanda, you judge a forward on the numbers. I disagree on this one. You think Zirkzee has a good season? Nice one. Richard saying here, I don't care who scores as long as the team wins. We will be, by the start of the season, be in a better position to play that high line than last season. Thanks, Rich. And Retro saying here, who compares him to Ibrahimovic, Batistuta, and Ronaldinho? It's Thiago Motta. And Chat Sport saying he reminds me of Dele Alli when he was at Spurs, similar profile. I've seen a lot of comparisons of Dele Alli and who's the guy who's playing for Real Madrid, England player now, Bellingham. Apparently, Dele Alli scored more goals than him at the age of 21. All right. You see where I'm going with this. Obviously, it's about wait and see. I suppose it's just a wait and see factor. I'm just going to throw in a couple more for you, Dora. Just have a look at. Here is the Bayern Munich coach, because obviously he spent some time at Bayern Munich and was signed by them. And this is the thing. Zirkzze actually, when he went there, he said, went there to learn things. They train more. I wanted to become a better player. So that says a lot about the young man's character. To go to Bayern Munich, play in the B team, smash it out there, and then knowing that their training is much better and they're training a lot harder twice a day and that kind of thing, and it make him a better player. Now, one of the coaches has said this about him. You can see he's pointing to his head. Bayern Munich are very established, very respected. And the coach from Bayern Munich says he's the kind of player who is highly sought after, a powerful striker. So we talked about, can he handle the Premiership? A powerful striker who keeps his cool and doesn't let himself be caught out. He has a great understanding of football and reacts quickly to different situations. Good endorsement there. What do you think?
I mean, it's, as I said, I think it's always great to see, and I think it's a great feeling from him as well, for him as well, seeing his former coaches and managers picking him up and, praising him. I think this is a very, like, if he's an intelligent player, and I think we sometimes lack that, especially in the front line with, sometimes tunnel vision from Rashford and Garnacho. I think it's very important to have at least one, player in that attack that actually thinks before, going. And Bruno sometimes as well, even though I think he's brilliant, I think he also sometimes falls into that trap as well of not thinking enough about everything that is happening on the pitch. So, yeah, it's always, I mean, these are great points. It's very promising, and I honestly cannot wait to see him start for Manchester United. Yeah.
Next slide. Do you know Lewis Ferguson? He played for Bologna. He's a Scottish guy, and his stock has gone well up by playing in and around Zirkzee. So there's a quote from him about playing with Zirkzee. So he's saying, technically, he's really, really good. I always say really, really, but he's really, really good. Once again, he's saying he's strong, fast, powerful. He's got everything you'd want in an attacker. That's from Lewis Ferguson, his teammate last year, got to the Champions League with Bologna. And he's saying, once again, technically, he's really, really good. Very strong, fast, powerful. He's got everything you want in an attacker. Now, I'm talking about the Ronaldinho, the Batistuta, the Zlatan, the physicality, the Batistuta, be able to finish. And obviously Ronaldinho with the skills, step overs, the creative side of things. He's saying he's got everything you'd want in an attacker. Are we seeing more endorsement from players that have been alongside him? We're seeing his quotes. Something special about this guy. Surely, Dora.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it is. Like, these comments aren't, made up. Those were his teammates, his, people around him, the coaching staff that actually trained him. They see that, and hopefully we see that in Manchester United. This is really great. I'm not against the signing of Zirkzee. I think he is going to help us, but I need to see how he is going to fit in this team with the players that we have, because I don't think that we are going to sign that many forward players. I think we need to strengthen in other positions on the pitch. But hopefully he stands out and starts to giving those assists and providing our other attackers the goals, and and he starts facilitating everyone else on the pitch. I honestly can't wait to see him in action, because these are all great points. So yeah,
that's fantastic, Dora. That's what I mean. That's the thing. It's just the excitement. I'm trying to build up the excitement to see what we're going to see in this play, and I think it's going to be something special. Obviously, we've been a bit disappointed over the years with some of the signings coming in with bigger expectations and not delivering. Martial being one of them, for example. So hopefully we can see something different for these young men. And I'm quite confident that he's going to be showcasing something special. A few comments before we move on, because something exciting coming up next. I hope we see Zirkzee playing at Wembley against City. Would be a good platform, and even better if we beat them again. Talking tactically, Bart saying here, teams sit back at versus United, unlike the Italian teams that face Bologna. Don't know if that's true. Let's see what happens. Could be wrong, but I've made my prediction. That's from Andrew Williams. Richard Dawkins saying here, part of the problem last season, especially when Anthony played, we were almost playing with inverted wingers. That is why Rasmus' goal tally wasn't higher. That's an interesting point there from Richard. Yes, Richard, that's fundamentally the problem. So Andrew and Richard are in agreement. High five to you two, buddies, right now, in agreement. We need more goals, and if we can keep him fit, then I think we're going to have a good season, says Simon. So a bit of positivity now. The inverted wingers is a thing, one of the biggest problems we have as a club, says Andrew Williams. And finally, I think it gives you a different option. That's from Richard. So there we go. Overall, I'm excited. I've just put this presentation on. Dora, I can see you're getting excited about it now. And overall, I think there's something to look forward to there with this young man. Remember those comparisons. Remember this show, guys. Hopefully, he can live up to the potential. Dora, what do you want to do? Because we're doing the versus battle today. It's going to be interesting, special one for you. And also, we just got to touch on a few stories. Let's touch on a few stories first. I'm going to give you 30 seconds on each. 30 seconds on each. First one, top left. Shawshire sends emotional farewell message to Man United fans as he closes in on the move to PAOK in Greece. Quick 30 seconds on Shawshire maybe leaving and about the youth academy.
Yeah, I think he confirmed that he's leaving. Potentially, he had the potential to be a good, Manchester United prospect. In the end, it didn't work out. I wish him all the best in the Greek league. I think that he is going to have a good time there.
Just quickly, you've got a few seconds left. Do you think he was ever going to make it in the first team from what you saw?
No, I think he's a midfielder, right? Is he a midfielder?
He's an attacker.
Or he's a winger? He's an attacker, yeah. I think he wasn't physical enough. I think Amad Diallo is smaller. He has smaller size, but I think he has some other strengths that makes him a better squad player than him.
Okay. Thank you. So next one here, going to go down the bottom here. It's about Varane. So Varane's joining Como in the Italian league. The side has just come up, new project. And Varane was very impressed with the Como manager, Cesc Fabregas, as he signed for the newly promoted Como. He said this: I'm meeting Cesc again, but not this time as an opponent. I really like his philosophy of play and his passion for football. When we spoke, it was easy to understand each other. So I hope we have a very positive run of results. In any case, I'm coming with a great deal of humility to help the team and the club grow, he added. So were you surprised by that move of Varane, Champions League Varane, leaving Man United and Real Madrid and ended up at Como? Do you know anything about them? 30 seconds on that story.
I mean, they had a great story, right? They have been in the fourth league, like they're Italian Luton, if I'm not mistaken. They came from the third, fourth, fifth league of Italian football, tier of Italian football, and they came in as a Serie A. Yeah, they're not that very, how do you say it, known, but yeah, since Cesc Fabregas came in, he built a good squad and they got promoted to the Serie A. This is news to me. I didn't see those news, and yeah, I wish him all the best. It's strange, right? Seeing him, of all, he played for us in the Champions League last season. He was really important for us, and all of a sudden he's going to a newly promoted team in the Serie A. But yeah, I wish him all the best. I think he's going to, be good there if he is healthy enough.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So farewell, Varane. Obviously, he won 2 trophies with us. So, good luck to him. Third one. This is just it's just speculation, but Rangers in Scotland eye a potential deal for Man United's Hannibal Medri. United and Rangers are in talks over signing Hannibal, but the latter, Rangers, are seeking a loan deal with the possibility of buying him at the end of that. Whereas United, on the other hand, prefers a permanent deal, especially considering the $7 million they were reportedly holding out for, a reflection of the initial investment and the potential that they see in Hannibal. I'm going to give you a minute on this one. Hannibal, he's someone who has smashed it in the academy. We brought him from Monaco. We did invest heavily in him. What do you think about his development and progression? That where he's at the stage now. $7 million we're holding out for. Rangers want him. They want a loan. We want to sell him. Talk to me everything about Hannibal and more in a minute, please. Let's go.
Yeah, I remember him, a few years ago when his name came up. I remember, in the video games like Football Manager, Hannibal Medri is this big guy, big amazing potential that becomes later like a region of Xavi Hernandez or whatever. But yeah, watching him play, he had some, great moments for the club even last season, and he started for Crystal Palace next to Casemiro, and he helped us win that game. You saw that his energy, he brought a lot of energy to that midfield. However, I feel that his passing never really improved, and I felt that his creativity wasn't on par, and he's just too energetic sometimes, and too how do you say it, too eager, and he would always be kind of on the edge of getting that red card. Unfortunately, I don't think that he is a quality of what Manchester United need. But yeah, it was always a pleasure to see him play, and it was always a pleasure to see him to see an academy player play for Manchester United. So yeah, I wish him all the best. I want him to go somewhere to actually get some minutes, and hopefully he gets it at Glasgow Rangers.
Okay, thank you very much, Dora. That was a minute on Hannibal. Could be leaving. Saying here, Bart saying Hannibal would have suited Millwall. And that's a joke, obviously, because he's a roughhouse player. I thought he was a more technical player, but he did show that. I think ever since he came in against Liverpool and done that rough tackle, I think he's been branded incorrectly. If Varane could stay fit, he would have been our best player, says Andrew Williams. That's a good shout there. Going back a bit now, go to Shola. It never really worked out for him, says Richard Hawkins.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's going to PAOK. Hopefully that's a good move for him. Richard Hawkins saying he'd let Hannibal go. And we've got Simon saying he'll loan him out with a chance for Rangers to sign him permanently. I think there's a bit of disagreement. I think the club want to sell him now rather than take the loan. Loan him with an option to buy as well, says Simon. So that's a sensible thing to do. And Simon's also saying here Hannibal would have suited Leeds United. Rich Hawkins saying Hannibal still does her 2-footer tackles. I don't think if you want to move on, Hannibal is not the answer. So there you go. These are all players that could be leaving the club. All right, Dora, are you excited?
Oh God. Yes, I am, but I will probably embarrass myself because if you're going 40 years back, I won't know. I will not know those players. So please forgive me, guys, if I am, a fake United fan sometimes. So you will help me on this.
I will help you out. Guys, in the comments, can you help Dora out as well? I want your views as well. It's going to be a minute. It's the versus battle. Once again, it's going to be a minute on each. I want you to tell me, Dora, who's the best? Who would you pick in this versus battle? If they go into like a training room or they go for a trial, who's going to come out on top? Who's the better player? That's all I want to know. I want you to break down both. In the summary, you've got 30 seconds to break down both players. I could move to 45 if you're flowing. And I want you to, at the end of it, give me a definitive answer. Who wins this versus battle?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Are we ready for this, guys? Are you guys ready in the comments? We are doing the versus battle. I'm going to start with a little something like this. 30 seconds. Let's go. Keith Gillespie, Lee Sharp. Who's the better player?
It's a hard one. Okay, so Gillespie, I never watched that guy. I'm so sorry, guys. Even though I have that kit, that left kit, it's amazing, the original one. But Lee Sharp, I think he was a great player. I think that he was one of United greats in the 90s. So yeah, I don't have that much, how do you say it, details on both those players, but I think that Lee Sharp, and I think even the United fans, even as a fake United fan right now, Lee Sharp is more memorable. It was always more memorable to me. So I would pick Lee Sharp. I think he was a better player for Manchester United in his day than the other guy.
Okay, guys, you've heard 30 seconds, or we went over 30 seconds there, Dora, but great assessment. Thank you for that. Considering, these players are quite old, but we're going to go to the comments as well. And guys, I want you can add your views, but here, for example, Andrew saying Gillespie had a better career overall. So I want you to be definitive and tell me, Andrew, who wins this versus battle? With all the factors that you want to put in, all the variables, who had a better career, who was more talented. You weigh it up, assess it. I'm not going to let you, if you want to come on the show, more than welcome. But at the end of it, tell me who wins this versus battle. So that's a great information. Yeah, I think Gillespie did probably have a better career overall. Starting with Simon Warner, he says Lee Sharp, straight up says Lee Sharp. We've got Andrew Williams saying Sharpie before meningitis was absolutely brilliant. I remember he scored hat-trick against Arsenal in the League Cup at Highbury. Fantastic player in the early 90s. We've got
Also,
Andrew...
Lee Sharp. Sorry, Monty. Lee Sharp was a better football player than a pundit, in my opinion. I would say that.
Than who?
Sure.
Better than who?
He's a better footballer than a TV pundit, in my opinion.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I agree. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But no disrespect. Gillespie was quick, wasn't he? And he went on to Newcastle in that Andy Cole deal, and he did have a decent career, but a bit of a drinker as well, apparently. Gillespie on his day was fantastic, says Andrew. Lee Sharp and Keith is a mate of mine. Big up Richard Hawkins. He knows Lee Sharp, good mate of his. So respect, guys. I love, maybe you can hear some stories about the past with Lee Sharp in his raving days. He was a bit of a ladies' man. Eddie's saying here, before my time, but Lee Sharp wins based on swag. Gillespie overall better career. Andrew, want to know who's better overall? Sharp had his way of celebrating goals. The Sharp shoe shuffle, a bit like Elvis, wasn't it? He used to grab the corner flag and do a little Elvis singing and shake his hips. Andrew Williams saying Sharp more talented by far. So I imagine you're picking him. No, he didn't, Andrew. Lee helped us for the first few years of the 90s. Domination. All right. Sharp is rock and roll in football. Sharp. I've seen Sharp play a long while ago, says Simon Warner. Okay. Sharp, I preferred him to Giggs in the beginning, obviously. All right, there you go. I think it's conclusive, isn't it, Dora, that Sharp wins that one. You said Sharp as well. So I think that's conclusive. The next one, let's see, what am I going with? Before I go into... Yeah, the next one is a British, not Man United, but what is significant about the next one is that there are two players that could have come to Man United, I feel, and bettered their career and won more trophies, for sure. But I want you to tell me, I'm going to give you a minute on this one, who you're picking in this versus battle, okay? Everything included, all the factors. Both of these guys could have come to United. They should have, and they would have been a better player, I believe. So who's winning this versus battle? 1 minute, starting now.
Oh, God. Look, Alan Shearer is he's still the best goal scorer. He has the most goals in the Premier League history. Still, Kane didn't get it.
Well,
is that true?
Yep. 260 goals, I think he's got Premier League goals.
I mean, Alan Shearer was it was a bit before my time, but he played for a really long time, and I remember him in the beginnings of 2000s. He was insane. I like Harry Kane. I think that if we signed him a few years ago, he would help us a lot. However, I think with the team that we had at Manchester United during that time when Alan Shearer was playing, adding him to the team, United would be a goal-scoring machine even more. So I would pick Alan Shearer. Harry Kane, if he came into United during that time, in the last 10 years, post-Fergie, Sir Alex Ferguson, I don't think he would be enough for us to win the league. Maybe during the Ole season when we finished second, or maybe even Mourinho, if I'm not mistaken, season when we finished second as well. But I think that Alan Shearer, how can you not pick the best goal scorer? He wasn't even a goal scorer. He was really, really good. Overall, he was a complete player at one point. So yeah, I would pick Alan Shearer for sure.
Okay, your minute's up. Your minute is up. You've gone with Alan Shearer, quite conclusive. Is it closer than we actually think, guys? These are two players that could have come to Manchester United. I'm going to go to the comments quickly and see what they're saying. Chat Sport straight away says Shearer. Richard Dawkins. No contest, says Simon. I'm assuming you're going with Shearer. Alan Shearer, before his knee injury, was absolutely out of this world, wasn't he? Chat Sport saying all day Shearer. Shearer says Matthew Bassett. Kane is a better all-round player. Discuss. Give you 20 seconds on that. Is Kane a better all-round player than Alan Shearer? Dora, 20 seconds.
I think yes, because he fits the modern game better. I think at the time, Alan Shearer was the best striker in the Premier League at home. I mean, for a lot of years. So I think it's an unfair comparison if you compare two eras of football. But yeah, if you include, yeah.
All right. Yeah, talking about areas of football and everything. Good, Andrew. Andrew actually, when I was reading up, before I even put this up, Andrew actually predicted I'll be talking about Shearer based on what I want to talk about in a minute, Dora, is about what would happen if these guys would have joined us. If Shearer would have left Southampton and joined Man United instead of
Oof.
Blackburn, and if Harry Kane would have joined Man United not long after, in 2016 or 17, would have fortunes been changed for those two? We discussed that in a sec. No comparison. Shearer's goals actually meant something. Winning the Premier League. Kane's very
Mm,
frustrating, says Andrew here. Kane wouldn't fit, says Simon Warner. We've got must be Shearer. Had some beautiful volleys. Kane is just boring. Kane's ratio for England is better than anyone of recent time, though. Richard
yeah.
Dawkins. Can you imagine Shearer up front with Cantona? Wow. Kane didn't exactly set the Euros on fire. Did Shearer have a great international tournaments? Was he ever Golden Boot winner in a World Cup? No, he wasn't. I'm trying to make an argument for Kane. I clearly don't
Yeah.
believe that. Is it close? It is close, says Andrew Williams, but Kane has too many bad games. No, it's Shearer, says Richard Hawkins. Sheringham over Kane as well, says Retro. That's interesting. Shearer would have been our captain, no doubt about it. Maybe Kane all-round play, but as an out-and-out striker, Shearer, and he scored 4 or 5 in Euro 96, which was,
Mm.
did win Golden Boot, I think, that year. Good comparison. Maybe that's open for a discussion again, but I think Shearer as well. Most majority of people agree with you on that one, Dora, as well. All right, Dora, now we're coming to
Mm.
the Dora effect. I'm going to bring up some Croatian players, and I want you to
Oh
compare them.
my God.
Yes. So I want to see where your loyalty lies, Dora. Does your loyalty lie with Manchester United Football Club and the Man United agenda, or does your loyalty lie with Croatian national team? And I want you to be honest. I'm going to give you a minute on each, all right? And I want you to tell me who wins the versus battle. We've got a Croatian player versus a Man United player. And I'm going to start with this. 1 minute, please.
Igor
Igor
Tudor
Tudor,
and
Gary Pallister. Now, just going back a bit in time,
oh
maybe you
God.
guys, Richard Hawkins, you might be able to help Dora out. If you get a comment up soon, maybe you can help her out. You'll remember this. I know Andrew Williams and all you old people in the chat. Gary Pallister versus Igor Tudor. Talk to us about Tudor
Tudor.
first, yeah.
I mean, if you want to look at the center backs of that time, go look at the Serie A. He played for Juventus. He played for Udinese. He played in the Serie A when it was at its peak. He was a very physical guy. He was sometimes quite aggressive, but he was, very, very calm on the ball. And he was, I remember him mostly in the early 2000s when he played for the national team. That was at least by the end of his career. He was a great player. I don't think that he was ever world class, but he was a solid player, a great Serie A center back who played in great Serie A teams. I don't know that much about Gary Pallister, so I'm so sorry. Like, I am once again a fake United fan. I just don't remember. Like,
Well,
I
you have to
don't
pick
know,
one because your
honestly.
minute's running out. Pick one.
Igor Tudor, just because I know more of him,
Okay,
but I don't think
let's
that's
go to the
true.
comments because your minute's up. But you did give us a good background on Tudor, who was clearly a good player because he played for the great Juve side back in the day. Andrew Williams saying, yeah, this is a good one. It is very good comparison. Both giants of men, over 6'4". Tudor played alongside Ferrara for Juve, says Andrew. He was in and out of the Juve team. He played
Yeah,
in midfield a couple of
he
times.
was.
I'm leaning towards Pallister, says Simon Warner. Could someone give us some attributes of Pallister, what made him a good player? Gary was
Mm.
good except for his back problems. So actually, I'm going to pick Tudor. Oh, wow. I'm surprised by that, Richard. So that's 2 for Tudor. Gary Pallister, the legend, says Retro. What do we know about Gary Pallister? What's good about his game? This is a toss-up. Pallister was very good for a long time, but not world-class at all, says Andrew Williams. And we've got Argo
Yeah.
Pallister, says Matthew Bassett. And Pallister, because I never saw Tudor apart from on FIFA. Pallister was deceptively quick. Apparently, he was one of the quickest. He was the quickest at over 100 meters. Even faster than Giggs once he got his legs going. I'm going Pallister. I think Pallister was just a bit better player, but it's very close between these giants of men.
I mean, Pallister has more than 300 games for Manchester United. Like,
Wow.
he played he played what 9 years for Manchester United. Like, great player. Great player. I need to check him. I promise you guys, I will check all of these players that I didn't recognize right after
Okay.
this stream. I'm
Are
so
you
sorry.
changing your mind? You said Igor Tudor.
No,
All right, you're not changing
no,
your
I
mind.
will stick with my Bayern. But I'm not a flip flop, Omondi. I'm not a flip flop. Okay, I will stick to my guns.
Yeah, we did get
Igor
him from
Tudor.
Borough. Yeah, we signed him from
Yeah,
Middlesbrough one time. And
yeah.
talk about partnerships. Bruce and Pallister was a great little partnership, wasn't it? And got us our first title. All right, 2 more to go. Guys, I want your thoughts as well in the comments. The next versus battle, think about it carefully, guys, before you go in. We're going to have a little summary on each player from Dora, 2 legends of the game. Can we compare? Yes, we can. Versus battle, who wins? 1 minute on this one.
Oh, Robert Prosinecki and Bruno Fernandes. Oh my God. Oh, I will go with Robert Prosinecki.
Talk to us
I'm
about
sorry,
Robert Prosinecki.
like if he didn't take up smoking and drinking and later in his career, like he was very rapid. He was playing, he played sometimes as a winger, but as a number 10 as well. He was fast, he was strong, he was very creative, he was temperamental, he was a real, Croatian dude. He won Champions League with Red Star Belgrade. He won a youth World Cup with the likes of Šuker, Boban for Yugoslavia by the end of I think in 1988, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's right.
He played for Barcelona. He played for Real Madrid. Like he won a third place for a Croatian national team. He was at one point a Croatian national team. Like he is a standout, but not just for his. Like he was at one point one of the best midfielders in Europe at one point during 90s, and from what I like, he was so good. I think his trophy cabinet speaks for himself. I think his legacy in Europe speaks for itself as well. I think Bruno Fernandes, he still has time to do it. I think he's a great player, but Robert Prosinecki, I need to pick him. Like I need to pick him. I'm sorry, Bruno.
Okay. Interesting that. Andrew's saying Prosinecki. He's also saying here Bruno's overrated, wasteful, and you saw it there, a dick. Simon Warner saying Bruno good at pens and rarely misses. Good attribute. Richard Hawkins saying I'm giving it to Bruno. Think his work rate is higher and he offers you more. So this is 2 different generations of player, but 2 fantastic players. I think we have to give some respect on Bruno's names. His attributes, what he contributes with goals and assists, has to be respected. But Prosinecki is one of my favourite players of all time. What a talent. Great on the ball. Yeah. Skills galore. Could drop a shoulder, beat a man like nothing. Prosinecki is one of the great. I'm really shocked there, Dora, when you said that he smoked and drank. Tell us more about that, please. Is that true?
I mean, don't you know when he went to Portsmouth? Wait, I think he was playing in Portsmouth, yeah, for 1 year, not even 1 year. I think he played, something like 30 odd games. And I think someone said during that time, that was in 2001, I think. And one of his teammates says, like, he was brilliant, but he was overweight. And during halftime, when he came out, he would smoke cigarettes. He would smoke cigarettes during halftime. And, after maybe 5 minutes more, after the halftime, he couldn't even walk, and like he couldn't run anymore because that was the end of his career, right? He couldn't do anything about it. But yeah, he was a heavy smoker and a drinker. I think he got a heart attack a few years ago.
Oh wow!
But he has a stand. Yeah, he has a pacemaker right now. So he's trying to he's obviously not doing that much anymore. But yeah, he was a heavy like. Most of the players in the 90s were heavy smokers, right? Like don't get this wrong, but on Balkans, in Italians, like they were, they were heavy smokers and heavy drinkers. But yeah, his stint at Portsmouth speak for itself. Like there are stories of him, during half times that he would be the best, even with 10 kilos of being overweight or something like that. He obviously had the technique and everything, but during half times he would smoke and he didn't give a shit.
We don't endorse smoking, and obviously with the health problems, that was definitely not endorsed either. But despite this being a smoker, Dora has gone for Prosinecki. Not many people have gone for Bruno. Does Bruno not get respect? Maybe, but like Dora said, wait to the end of his career really to see what else he can deliver for Man United. Who knows? He could get us a couple of Champions Leagues or a league title and then that will all change. Quick here, Retro saying Boban. I was going to bring him up, but I know that's Dora's favourite player. Remember Fergie wanted him, yeah. I mean, he was fantastic.
A national hero.
He is, no doubt about it. What a player for AC Milan. All right, last one coming up. Great show, guys. Liking the format. We'll catch you back later. Keep it alive. Thank you, Eddie. Last one, guys. And I'm giving you a minute and a half on this one. Dora, everything needs to be included in this, yeah? Top form, skills, finishing, all kinds of things. I want you to compare these two players. Who comes out on top in this versus battle? It's the last one, guys. Contribute in the comments. Help Dora out if you want to. Give your conclusive opinion. Who wins this versus battle? Let's go.
Oh my God.
Talk to me. A minute and a half starts now. Come on, Dora.
Okay.
Talk to me. Summary on each one.
I am not a huge fan of Davor Šuker, by the way. I don't like his personality. He was president of FA, but as a player.
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay. Great finisher, great technique on the ball. He was very, how do you say it? He was very good on the ball. He played a lot, on the offside line and all that. I think that Robin van Persie had at the end, I think he was more physical. I think he had a great an insane technique. But oh my God. I think I'm going Robin van Persie. I'm going Robin van Persie. I think overall he was I think if you look at his whole career, I think injuries kind of, deprived him of being even better during his Arsenal days. But overall, I think he was more talented than Davor Šuker. Davor Šuker was great. I don't like him for other reasons, but as a player, he played for Barcelona, he played for Sevilla. I think until Konate came in, I think Šuker was the best goal scorer for Sevilla in their history. He played for Barcelona. Didn't he got a golden boot in the 1998 World Cup? Like, he was insane that World Cup. But yeah, I need to give it to RVP. I think overall his career, both of these careers are insane, but I think overall Robin van Persie was a more complete player.
Are you done? So you've made your choice.
Robin van Persie, unfortunately, for my Croatian people.
Okay, this is a tough one because Andrew started off by saying Suker, but it's close. Then he said, hold on a minute, I'm regretting this. He's gone with Robin van Persie. Matthew Bassett says Van Persie. Van Persie from Chat Sport as well. We got Van Persie by a long way. Scored a hat-trick that got us the title in 2013. Says Simon Warner. Suker, based on how bad he was at Arsenal, says Andrew Williams. He wasn't that bad, surely. You got to give to Robin van Persie. Done it with the international team. What did he do with the international team for Holland? Did he win anything?
He was in the finals of World Cup. In 2010, he went to semi-finals of 2014 World Cup as well.
Okay.
When they lost, yeah. So that's his, I think, yeah.
Robin van Persie better for longer, says Andrew Williams. Suker was good, but Van Persie was only slightly better. We've got I never liked Suker as a player, says Richard Hawkins. Made an impact straight away. Okay. I missed that. Good one.
Oh my God. He's not very loved here in Croatia, by the way. I think his legacy post playing games were.
Why is that? Because you brought personality. What's wrong with Suker? He's a great player, surely.
So he is a local guy here. Like, he's from my area, I would say. And he was a president of Croatian FA for a few years, and he was so corrupted. Corruption was going left and right, and I don't like him, honestly. I think a lot of people are going to say he was a great player, but his personality was so. Okay. Yeah,
fair enough. So it's conclusive. Van Persie, according to the guys,
Šuker was good, but
according to the guys in the comments, and most importantly, according to I was calling you Suker, according to Dora, Robin van Persie is a better player. But Suker,
overall better player, definitely.
I disagree. I know it sounds a bit crazy. I think Suker is one of the best finishers I've ever seen.
Okay.
Yeah, and if he was playing today, he would be a £150 million striker. Absolutely fantastic technique. Remember that chip against Schmeichel in the World Cup?
Euros.
Oh, was that Euros?
1996. In England, yeah.
Was that the Euros? Okay.
Yeah.
I just think Zirkzee, his finishing was outrageous. A bit like you had the Brazilian playing for another left-footed striker, Brazilian Eduardo, who reminded me of
Eduardo da
Snooker.
Silva.
Yeah,
Oh
with
my
his finishing
God.
before he broke his leg. I
Yeah.
thought he was fantastic as well.
He was amazing.
Pedro Mijatovic was serious link up. Obviously, he scored in the 1998 Champions League final, didn't he, for Real Madrid? Great fun stream with two legends. Hope you have a good night. Big up, Simon. Thank you. And it was the Euros. Thanks, Richard. I'm getting that wrong. Okay, that's enough about Zirkzee and
Sucker. I will call him like that right now. Thank you, Richard.
Prozinecki, Tudor, Zirkzee, great players from Croatia, up against the Man United players as well. And I think it's fair with the results. Dora, thank you so much once again for joining us. It's always a pleasure. Hopefully you'll be back very soon because bath time's away. So you've got to come and help fill in the gap. And it's easy we don't miss bath time. Bath time, if you watch it, we're not missing you because Dora and Quality is stepping in like this. No doubt about it.
Yeah, you need to have a bit of a negative Nancy on this channel. So to balance you out on Monday, to balance you out.
No, I'm joking. We miss you, bath time. I hope you have a great time if you are watching, and you'll be back before the season starts. We got Betis coming up, haven't we, Dora? Any thoughts about that before we sign out?
Well, hopefully it's in my time zone, so because I'm not getting up in the middle of the night to watch that preseason game. And hopefully we see some of the signings. Well, at least one of them, because the other one is injured. Hopefully we see Zirkzee in the team, and I will try to check it out.
All right. Cheers, Chat Sports. Cheers, Matty. Cheers, Andrew, Richard, all you guys. We're going to sign out now. We will be back tomorrow. Go and support Mr. B right now on Sci TV. Just type in the comments. Big up Mr. B. Man United Agenda runs things, or Man United Agenda rules, and or something like that. That's what I'm going to go and do now and support our man, Mr. B. Until then, we'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Adios, guys. Thanks again. And try and keep cool. Keep your fans on and try and keep cool because it's a hot night. Good night.